So I often get asked the question, why do we need an extra messaging app when we've got WhatsApp and it's such a popular app? And I think the premise of that question is probably not correct, because they're assuming that Telegram is just another messaging app. It is much more than that. It's a whole ecosystem, a whole platform onto which messaging is one of the features. So I want to just highlight how different it is from WhatsApp, and then you can decide whether it's worthwhile switching across to using Telegram. So let's get a look at what the history of WhatsApp is. WhatsApp started in 2009 by two people who left Yahoo, and they went to start off the WhatsApp application, and it was meant to replace SMS messages. So back in the day, you would pay for every single SMS you sent on a mobile network. When WhatsApp came along, it used the internet and really made it totally affordable to be able to start messaging, and you weren't limited to like 160 characters or so. So that was the origins of WhatsApp. The system works on a device-to-device messaging, so it goes from your phone or your tablet to another tablet, and the actual source of the images and data lies on the particular device. So if you're sending a video, the video exists on the device it's been sent from, and it will land up on the device it receives. So there's no interface where there's a cloud or anything. It just uses the internet to transport the information. The point about why it works the way it works is just by design. So the files have to be optimized when they send from one device to the other, for reason being that if you send a 200 meg file and somebody receives it on WhatsApp, for them to view it, they have to have it on their device. And before you know it, their space is totally going to be consumed. This literally happens with most people that don't have enough storage space. You start to find that they run out of space because all of these WhatsApp messages are coming through. So, important point at this stage is to realize WhatsApp stores all the files it gets on the device and nowhere else. Over the years, Facebook bought WhatsApp, and you started having other features added to this messaging app, which was audio. You could voice call people. You could do video calls up to 4 people. I believe they're looking at increasing it to 8 during this pandemic period. But pretty much it is a messaging service with these add-ons that Facebook have now added to these devices. The other thing is that if you had to set up a group, you were limited to 256 people in that group. Now this sounds a lot, and you'll think to yourself, well, will I ever get there? But because WhatsApp is designed to be a social interaction, like a Facebook, like a Instagram, it's a social media kind of space, you often wouldn't have groups getting together of that amount. So it was never exceeded, and there was never a need for more things to happen. But that's the limitation with WhatsApp. The only other challenge is that WhatsApp, sometimes the links that are shared can be found by Google when you do an automatic search. Sometimes because it's lying in the shared messages, Google can pick it up, and that could be a bit of a security risk. Then WhatsApp has a broadcast, but a broadcast is just a fancy way of bulk sending to different people on your contact list. So it's not a true broadcast that you're broadcasting out to hundreds of thousands of people. It is merely a collection of people to send the same message to. And then they, of course, can communicate back with you. Then when it comes to file sharing, because it's device to device, the app itself has to limit the quality of the file or the size of the file. So if you want to share a file, just a normal file, not a media file, so it's not an audio or video, the limit of a file share is 160 megabytes. If you're sharing a media, which is a video or an image, if the video is 50 megabytes, it will be downsized and downscaled to 16 megabytes so that WhatsApp can send it. So WhatsApp will not send a file bigger than 16 megabytes. Sometimes if you have a bigger file, you have to chop it up in little segments. So that's the limitation of WhatsApp. And that's literally by design, because there's no place to store it except on the devices that it's been sent from and the device that it's been received on. Then you have a desktop version, which you can install, but all that is doing is mirroring your mobile device. So whatever's on your mobile device, you scan the QR code, that appears on your desktop. The challenge is if your phone that you scanned onto the desktop gets disconnected from the internet, then your desktop version also shuts down because it's just one instance of the application running. So the desktop is not an independent application. It merely links and shows what's on the mobile device. And that in that way you can be working on two interfaces, but it's the same device. And I'll show you how this differs when it comes to Telegram. As I mentioned earlier, it's considered as a social media tool. So like Messenger, WeChat and Viber, it's meant to be an easy collective tool that is able to communicate and stick within that sphere. The one challenge I have with this whole setup is the next line that I'm putting down there is the fact that it's owned by Facebook. Now, it's the most popular one because it's been around the longest. And because Facebook has over 1 billion of users on Facebook, those people will naturally migrate to use the WhatsApp and, of course, Facebook Messenger. The challenge I just have, and this is just a point that I'm throwing in there, is that Facebook, the information that they have on there is definitely used for their marketing purposes. It's not a secret. So if there's information going through WhatsApp, which you are getting for totally free, you can do the exercise and chat about something on WhatsApp, and when you go onto Facebook, you'll see some ads that reference what you've been chatting on. So although they claim not to do anything with your information, it is harvested for their purposes of marketing. And then, of course, if the forces and the third-party governments come and they require some sort of information, they have been known to give it quite freely to governments and to police forces. So I'm a bit anxious about that part of the story. But if you're not concerned and you're just using it for general family communications, then it probably wouldn't make any difference for you. So here we come to Telegram. Telegram has a different ecosystem it works with. Telegram came in probably about 4 or 5 years after WhatsApp was around, and Telegram is a cloud-based service. So that means that when you send something to somebody, it goes into the cloud and then it transmits to that person's device. Now, the power of that and the fact that it's using the cloud is a more modern ecosystem. But the power that you have there is that you can install Telegram on multiple devices and they can all synchronize and work together. If you're having difficulty in understanding that, just think of Gmail. If you open your mobile device and you send something from Gmail on your mobile, when you get to your desktop, you open Gmail, everything is there, what you sent, what you received. It's all synchronized to a single cloud server that's managing the data. So that is, in essence, how Telegram is totally different from WhatsApp. Telegram will send a message to another Telegram user, but it will first go to the cloud and then synchronize. Now, this has major benefits as far as how you can share files and how it preserves your space on your device. And I'll explain that very soon. So if you have Telegram on your desktop and it's on your mobile, you can load something on your desktop and then have it on your mobile. That's how it works. It's totally synchronized. The desktop versions and the laptops and the mobile devices all run independently. They all just feed into the same cloud. So they're linked via the same number. So when you log in, you use the same cell phone number that you registered with, and they all will synchronize with each other. The other thing is that Telegram you can load multiple accounts on. So if you've got 3 cell phone numbers or 2 cell phone numbers, a business cell phone and a personal cell phone, you can load both onto the device. You also have a powerful feature that if you send a message to somebody and you made a mistake, in WhatsApp, you're going to either delete it and send a new message. And when you delete it, it shows there that that message has been deleted. With Telegram, you can tap on the message. It gives you the ability to edit it. It goes into all the devices that it exists on and updates it. So your messages, you'll never have to send something that's incorrect or a typo and then have to worry about deleting it. The other part is if you do delete it off your device, it gives you an option to delete it from every other device that you sent it to. Now, I know WhatsApp can do that, but WhatsApp has a small window period to do that. Telegram, there's no window period. You could have sent it a month ago, you could still delete it off all the devices. Then, if you're busy typing a message and you get distracted and you close the application, that particular part that you're typing in automatically gets saved as a draft. And if you then go to your desktop and you've got your application running there, you will see that draft there and you can continue typing that message if you choose to. Then also here is the big key as to why many people use Telegram, especially businesses or people who share information. Telegram can handle big files and gives you unlimited cloud storage of those files. So if I want to send a file into the cloud, I can put it on my device, upload it to the cloud, and it can stay there, and then I can download it from any of my other Telegram devices when I need it. It doesn't by default download it on every device, it just keeps it in the cloud, and when you want it down, you can download it. It can send files up to 1.5 gigabytes. And as I mentioned, the file sizes when you're talking about WhatsApp, maximum is 160, and if you're sending video, maximum is 16 megabytes. Here you can send a video, you can send any type of file up to 1.5 gigabytes. And then if you want to send 10 of these 1.5 gigabyte files, you can do so, and it will be stored in the cloud totally free of charge. If you want to communicate with people on WhatsApp, you're going to have their numbers on your contact list. You can't send it to people you don't have on your contact list. Whereas Telegram, you can send it or search for the people by their name or their username. You don't have to have their numbers. So people's numbers need not be exposed on Telegram. And that's a good privacy feature that they have. When you're sending images, as I mentioned, you can send them compressed or uncompressed. It's a choice. Then also you have the ability to do voice calls. WhatsApp can do that, but WhatsApp can do more. It can do video calls also. So I think that's where WhatsApp excels past what Telegram can do. Okay, then we're looking at things such as groups. Now, a group in Telegram is it's not exactly what you'd find in WhatsApp. WhatsApp, they call it a group, but it has up to 256 people that can go in, and it's literally a collection of people where you can post common things to, but there's not much control over that. With groups on Telegram, you can send and have up to 200,000 people in a group. You can also upgrade it to what they call a super group, which will have more in. But the big powerful factor is that you have granular control over who is able to contribute in that groups, who can send certain stuff, and you can allocate lots of administrators to deal with different aspects of the groups. Because it can grow so big, you need to have total management of it. So you can lock out people, you can give people certain rights. It's powerful and functional in the group setup. Very different to the WhatsApp situation. Then the other thing is that WhatsApp doesn't have is channels. If you have a company and you want to market all your material to your end consumer, you can set up a channel. It's a one-way broadcasting of information. That information can go out to 1 million people. So people would come and either look at what's on your channel, or they can join your channel to be informed what's going on. But there's unlimited number of people that can have access to it. So it's not a system where you sending a message to a person's device. You're just putting it in a channel and you're having audience come to it. It's a brilliant concept, and it's like having a TV channel that people flip into and are able to see what's going on. At this stage, you have about 1 billion people that are on WhatsApp. On Telegram, they have 400 million users, but the movement from 100 million to 400 million has happened so quickly. The adoption of this platform as being incredibly fast. One of the big reasons for this is that people are realizing it's got tons more features, but also there are more and more people becoming very conscious about the security with all of these social media platforms censoring what people are doing. Some people have been putting videos on YouTube, for example, and they've been taken down and not allowed to express themselves. So a lot of people have been using Telegram and the channels to load that information so people have the freedom to access it. And you cannot take down a Telegram channel or Telegram group. That is the whole reasoning behind how Telegram operates. They give you your privacy, they protect the security of your devices and all your data. So we just look at a few features on Telegram as far as chat goes. Now this would be probably appropriate to the people who are using the WhatsApp, because you would use it mostly for chat features, and I'll show you what the chat features are with Telegram. So if we go through them, These features don't exist on WhatsApp, and it's a feature that if you start using it, you ask yourself, how can you do without it? First one is scheduling. So if you're running a big group and you want to release a video or announcement or something at a specific time, you can schedule the message or the video clip or the audio clip or any file, and at that time it will auto-publish itself into that channel or that group. Then you can also send a message without making a sound on the other side. So if you know somebody's in a meeting, you can send it to them and you disable the sound. So even if their sound is on, it won't make a noise there. Then you can also run polls on groups and channels. So a poll is literally a questionnaire that you pull out. You can have it anonymous or not anonymous. And that gets sent out to your audience in a group or in a channel. And people then have the ability to vote on something that you send out. You can set up voice notes. And the nice thing is, if you record a voice note, before you send it, you have the option to preview it and make sure that everything's right and then send it or delete it. Or you could make the voice note, and when you're done with it, you can send it immediately. The video notes are done as a quick note. It creates a little circle with a video clip in, and you have about a minute to send a video note. So it's not intended to be like a conventional video. It's just a video chat kind of thing. If you want to send a normal video, then you send the video, record it in a little bit a different way. All of these messages and everything always give you an opportunity to review it before you send it. You don't have to send it immediately. And remembering that if you do send it and it's not what it's supposed to be, you can just delete it from your device and the other person, and of course leave absolutely no trace, as I explained earlier. The other nice features that you have in the chat is if you are looking at a video that's been sent to you, because it's in the cloud, when you view it, you have to download it from the cloud. But in that process, you don't have to wait till the whole file's downloaded. You can actually stream it and view it while it's busy downloading. So that's an excellent feature. A lot of people have videos that they share. You don't have to sit and download a 500 meg file and then only watch it. So you can stream it fast forward and just check the content to get a basic idea of it. And if you don't want it further, you stop the download and then it won't download further onto your device. Folders on Telegram. This is a great way of putting things into compartments, because you then are able to arrange all this stuff. Because you're now handling a lot of groups and messages, it can neaten up the interface quite a bit. There's also secret chats, which is everything is encrypted on the Telegram system. But if you want to send a message from one individual to the other on Telegram, you can add a self-destruction timer on it. So after, say, 10 or 15 seconds, once the person has looked at it, it will self-destruct. So that's a very secure method of doing things. You won't find a secret chat going into the cloud. It just goes straight from device to device. And as I mentioned before, when you delete a message, it will remove without a trace on your device. And if you choose to delete it off somebody else's device that has sent it to you, it will delete there. Of course, you can't delete stuff off the device that hasn't been sent to you. It's only communications between you and the person. If somebody sends you a message, you have the right to delete it off your device and theirs, even though they sent it to you. The fact that you're involved with the discussion, you have the rights of that particular communication to do that. In the same way as if you sent it to them, they can delete it off their device and yours. As soon as you involve anybody in a discussion, both parties have the right to clear up that discussion, which I think is an excellent feature. It's what we call democratizing communication. We don't have one person having full control and then, sending things to you and you delete it off your device and they still keep it on their side. Okay, then also, just by the way, there's quality stickers. There's a whole community developing animated stickers. Then there's one little thing that I think a lot of people don't even know. This is just an add-on feature, that if you type in and you're going to send a message, if you lift the phone up to your ear like you're going to answer the phone, as you lift it up, you'll hear a buzz on the phone and it will switch over into voice recording mode. You can then record a message, and when you take it away from your ear, it stops the recording. Very nifty feature in case you just want to do a quick voice note. This is one thing that confuses people when it comes to file sharing between Telegram and other apps. And I thought I'd put this together to give you a bit of insight as to how this works. So if I want to send something from one Telegram device to another one, what we do is as I mentioned, the files that are sent from Telegram devices most of the time, if not all the time, resides in the cloud, and just a reference exists on the devices. So if this phone in the middle wants to send it to the phone on the left, they will send the link of whatever it is, be it a video, audio file, or any other file. Then the second device will contact the cloud with that link. The cloud will respond and send the link information through to that device. It won't automatically download whatever it is to the device. It just says, okay, I know you want this link. Here's the reference to it. Then the second phone on the left can decide if it wants to download it from the cloud or not. That's why if you have anything on one device on Telegram, you can forward it to another Telegram device or share that link. You have people that are on WhatsApp and they say, well, if I have a file on WhatsApp, I can share it to anybody. Why can't Telegram work exactly that way? The thing is with WhatsApp, as I expressed, is the files reside on the device by default. There's no cloud service. So if somebody's got the file on WhatsApp or on their phone, it's going to be there. It's not going to be residing anywhere else. With Telegram, not all files reside on the device. It's up to the person to decide to download them. And that's where the brilliant part of managing your space on your phone comes. You don't have to store all these files and videos and music files that are sent to you on your device. It's stored in the cloud and you can just reference it. And when you need it, you download it on your device. So somebody sending from WhatsApp, they are literally sending it from their device to somebody else. So they can send it to Telegram, to any other WhatsApp application or to any other application. Let's look at how this works. If you have a file on your phone and it's on Telegram, say we look at this 180 megabyte file. If the 180 megabyte file exists on the Telegram device, that can be sent immediately. If you click on that, it will be able to give you the share button and you can send it immediately through WhatsApp. But WhatsApp will have to take the file and downsize it to a 17 megabyte file because WhatsApp cannot send files bigger than 17 megabytes. You can imagine a 180 megabyte file is going to be really degraded in quality, but then WhatsApp will be able to send it to any other WhatsApp user. However, you could send this 180 megabyte file to any other application because it resides on your device. So here's where the confusion comes, where people are getting new into Telegram and they have a file in Telegram that hasn't been downloaded from the cloud, but they see it over there and they think it's present and they want to share it. And Telegram says it has to first download it. It can't share it immediately. It doesn't give you a share link. And they usually ask the question, but why is that? Why can't you just share it like any other application? Hopefully you understand that it's first got to get it from the cloud and bring it onto the local device and then share it with the application. So let's look at an example here. If you have a 350 megabyte file, now you could have, like with the 180 megabyte file, it's on the device already, you could have downloaded it, but most of the times all the videos and media that exists in the Telegram application resides in the cloud, and most people would not download it all because it will just take up your bandwidth and your storage. So you leave it in the cloud until you really want to view it or download it to share it with somebody. So a 350 megabyte file in Telegram, if this is not downloaded on your device yet, when you touch on it, it will just give the option to share with some other Telegram user. And that makes sense because all you do is share the file that you have. Like the first example, you share the link with them or forward the link to them. They communicate with the cloud and they can decide to download the 350 meg file. But let's say we want to share it now from the middle device on WhatsApp to somebody else. So we will press on the button and the button will say, okay, let's download that 350 file onto the device. It then downloads the entire file. But now it cannot send the 350 megabyte file to WhatsApp yet. It's going to communicate with the WhatsApp application on the middle phone's device. It sends it there, and what WhatsApp does is it breaks down that 350 megabyte file into a 17 megabyte file. The quality drops tremendously, and then it can send it to the other user using WhatsApp. So hopefully you understand why certain files, when you tap on them to share them, they don't have the share button because it doesn't exist on the device yet. It's just a reference. You first have to download it. Others you can tap on and you can share if they physically exist on the device. So that's the power of having a cloud in the back end, because you don't have to carry all these heavy weighted files on your system all the time. As we round up this section, who is Telegram for? Telegram is for people who want to have unlimited file sharing. So if you work with a team and you share documents and you have videos and files and training material, you could create a Telegram container, whether it's a group or a channel, make it a private one. You put all your stuff in there and you can have your team accessing it. The other thing that Telegram works well for is big groups. The teams, if you have 1,000 people in a team, you can create a group, manage that entire group as I explained. Companies, organizations can use Telegram effectively for file sharing, for file storage, and also for communication between the team members. It handles massive numbers of people, and it's able to create collaborations on the system. And everything is possible because of the cloud interaction that you have. And everything doesn't reside on individual devices. Then also, who is Telegram for? It's for people who want to do mass communication using the channels. There's some channels that you'll find out, for example, a company like Samsung, which is a manufacturing company, has like over 14,000 people on a channel which they communicate information about products. There's some people who would run channels that speak about plants, about aquaponics, all different interests. You can create your own channel and have a community of people logging into it, and they have access to it. And you can have unlimited number of people linking into a channel. So they don't register in the channel, they just join it if they want to be informed. And if they don't join it, they can still access and see it. If it is a private channel, they of course have to have the link that you provide to them. The most important one is for your own privacy and security. The owners of Telegram who put it there, they self-funded. Since they've developed Telegram, they've not shared one bit of data with any third party. No police, no FBI, no Russian governments. No one has got any bit of any of our information. And I'm sure Facebook and Google can't say that about their track record. So none of this information is used for advertising purposes. It's purely stays within the Telegram ecosystem. This is also very powerful for programmers, because you're able to write what they call Telegram bots, and these bots will communicate. When you get into a group, you can write a bot that will answer you. You could say, I need help on this topic, and these bots will be able to communicate with you. It's like pre-programmed systems that help you. And then it's for those people who are into resource sharing. Most file sharing platforms like WeTransfer, they give you up to 2 gigabytes of sharing files, then afterwards you've got to subscribe. Here you can share files up to 1.5 gigabytes in size, but you can store them unlimited and there's no cost to that. I don't think people realize the power of that file sharing ability. So in summary, if we look at it, Telegram is an ecosystem, a platform, file sharing, group management, programming environment. WhatsApp is literally just a text messaging, and of course stuck on top of that is voice calls and also your video calls. If you're looking for a real powerful platform, then I would suggest you look at Telegram. If you're just looking to keep social connection with your small family and groups, then WhatsApp is there. I know Facebook has tried to bring in WhatsApp for business, but it's really a very clumsy tool. And if you're wanting to create a good business communication platform, Telegram is the way to go, because you could get programmers to write programs that will use Telegram to communicate with your audience and with your clients. And it's at a totally different level. So yeah, hopefully you've got a clear idea of these features, and keep looking at it and seeing whether it suits your needs. If you feel very comfortable with WhatsApp and that's the only level that you need, then I recommend you stay with it. But if you're looking for more, Telegram is an excellent choice.